Doug's Eye here once again with another video on my solar system. Today I'm going to show you my house battery bank and my inverters and just a general overview. It's raining today. I have been working on my shop array and it's raining, so no outside work today. And this has been waiting for me for quite a while anyway, so I decided to finally get it done. Hope you enjoy this video. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I have more content coming. I'm currently building my shop system, so we currently run our house here pretty well off grid. I made a few additions like a heat pump, water heater, and a few other things, and those videos will be coming up. I also have a video coming about the update to my solar charge controller problem with it burning out the connectors. So hope you enjoy. Let's get started. So here's all my cells here. I have 280 amp hour cells on the top shelf, 280s there, 280s there, and I got some 304s on the bottom. And so I'll show you here this end here. So let's get started here, okay? Sorry about that, but we got a bus bar here, runs down the whole length. Basically that's 1/4 inch copper by 1 1/4 wide. I went ahead and plated it with nickel. On our T-fuses here, we have just a short bus bar, and I had to bend it so it would fit and everything was flat, but that worked out pretty good. Behind here, you'll see there's a bus bar and it's 2 pieces, okay? And the reason for that is so we can adjust it, because you have a different length and they're slotted, but that seemed to work pretty good. I was able to get everything all lined up nice. The BMS here is a Batrium, and so I just run all my leads down a wooden dowel here, okay? And on a Batrium, every one of the valence leads is fused. And I did drill and tap these bus bars. Underneath this tape here is my temperature sensors. There's 4 of them per battery. And then I run it on down. I did change my wire colors inside the loom as you get looking here, and that way I was able to keep track of it. As far as my compression plate, just a piece of aluminum, and then I run a hard stop here, threaded rod inside, and of course the conduit. I have a video showing that, so I can maybe put a link up there later. We'll get down here to the other end. Basically on this end it's just basically butted, and again a bus bar runs the full length. I made these here with carriage bolts, where the bolts are. I cold headed it in there into the copper using my shop press. It worked pretty good. Basically drill a pilot hole and then you just cold head it out the rest of the way. It's mounted on insulators, and yes, I do have covers that go on here, but I took them off so I could show you. 4-gauge wire runs off this bus bar and 4-gauge off the other one. Shelves are 1 1/4 inch, and this is plywood because I built this all during COVID. And I wanted some fiber cement, but I couldn't find anything. So ended up using plywood, painted it. And I do have some fiber cement to replace it, but I don't think I ever will. Okay. Up here is my Batrium shunt, and I had a Victron Smart shunt here, but I took that out as part of this process, and that's why I'm shut down today. I'm running on grid power. I've had the inverter shut off since last night. The bus bars are pretty nice. Somebody on the Do-It-Yourself Solar Forum shared it, and they do come with the cover here, and I just had it off so I could show it. If you're looking for anything, they were on Amazon, I guess. There was a rated for 600 amps, and they are pure copper. I did drill it, and it's definitely copper, okay? I got a smart shunt here, and then I'll show you here my BMS. BMS here we have a Batrium core, and then I'm running basically 4 K9s. I mean, that's a lot of wire in there, believe me. But I put this all together. So on my compression here, I run it. I got my threaded rod comes out here, and I just start it there. Put my cells all in, and have my 2 back rods in. I think the 3 rods in, just don't have this top one in. Once I got all my cells in there, and I do have foam pour on in between each one of these. Okay, and then once I get all my cells sitting in there, I put my last rod in, and then I just tighten them up. And being I have a positive stop on each end, I can only compress it so far. I'd calculated that all out. The cabinet here is a Huffman cabinet. It was used, and I happened to pick it up for about $200, and yeah, it works pretty good. It got repainted and everything. Originally was gray. I had to cut the legs down to fit down here in my basement. All right. I do have 16 Goble cells sitting here, and they're going to replace the third shelf. Those I've had a hard time keeping balance on them. I just haven't been happy with them, and I got a golf cart to use them. So I got these Gobles. I picked those up. I swear it was a do-it-yourself solar forum deal only, and it was probably like $1,800 shipped to my door. That was the deal. You know, and they only ran that for a limited time. That's another benefit of being a member of the do-it-yourself solar forum. Over here we have an ABB breaker and a shunt trip, and the Watchman core from the Batrium can trip that if it senses a fault, and it'll throw it off. And believe me, you'll hear it when it clicks. Up here I have an inverter pre-charge, and I'm currently running a resistor, but I'm going to eventually switch it over to a 48 volt light bulb. And basically you just hold the button until the bulb goes out. Okay. This little breaker here is a midnight, and that is to power my 24 volt power supply, which is for the shunt trip in here, because that's what their relay runs off of on the Batrium. It runs a 24 volt. This is a 24 volt coil in here, and that's why I needed it. See, so basically, the inverters are off. They're MPP Solar LV6548s. I had bought these, then I had changed and went to a. I never used them. I never got them installed. I bought some EG4 6500s, and there's some videos out there showing all the problems I had with those. Basically, I just mount everything with Unistrut, and I'm a firm believer in conduit. You know, I run all conduit. Like here on the 6500s, I had PV wire running up here, and I had conduit in it. Well, when I took them out, then I just put a plug in their place. Okay. If you're ever at Harbor Freight, get one of these ratchets, this plastic body. Great for working around batteries, and then tape up your socket. Okay. That power supply there is for solar assistant, and I'll get to that later. On the corner here, I just ran down flex conduit, and believe me, that stuff ain't cheap. But that's where my battery cables run down. Okay, I got a Huffman trough here, 8x8. I picked it up on eBay. It was a good deal, and then I bought the end caps there too. I have a 300 amp class T fuse here, a 300 class T 300 amp class T fuse here, and I got, of course, the 4-aught cable. It comes down this conduit here, and originally the black one ran down through here, but I changed it. I moved that shunt out from on my battery box and moved it down to here. Reverse my cable, and of course put one of them bus bars here. That way I could get my shunt here, because I'm added in another battery here. That's what I've been up to. That's why I had everything all shut down. And you've seen me build this Luan box. That's in a video. Basically, your AC power comes in, goes out, and I also run a Polaris connector here for my neutrals to get that all hooked up. I had everything all tagged, you know, and everything, but I've been in here a couple times doing some stuff. The 4-aught cable runs down here, of course, to this Victron Lynx. It's just a power in, and that provides my bus bar for my inverters. Okay. Power comes in, then goes back up to the Class T's, and then a 300 amp Class T. Other one. Of course, some of you have seen this box before, and basically that's all that is butted up there. The cable comes through, and I just put a hole in the end of the plastic cover so I could hook the cables from my charge controllers over here to this Lynx power in. Other than that, you know, I'm sure you've all seen the MPPTs, and I do have an update on that. So, anyway, that's the only thing on. Like I said, I don't have the inverters on. I'm getting ready to power them back up here. I got everything done. I did get this thing hooked up, and then floor here's got slope, and this box has wheels on it. So I just grabbed a piece of 4x4 and stuck it on the front. It can't roll, but I made the cables long enough so that I was able to roll it out of there, and I can get in behind there and sweep. When I waterproofed this basement, I put a groove in here. I was using a 3/4 inch board, and this is an old farmhouse. Somebody's added on, you know how that all goes. And so you always get a little water weeping in here. Underneath the cement here, I tiled this all out before I put all this down in here, and then I had to re-pour the outside 12 inches, and so I put that little groove there, and that baby works pretty good. It runs down to my sump pit. every so often I've got a drop in here, and that came in handy when I put in a heat pump water heater, which I'm going to show that setup in a later video. So basically all I did is I just ran a cable gland down through. I ran a cable gland there so I could get my communication cable for my smart shunt down there and a power cable for it. Tied up the positive cable here and ran it into the links. So basically that's it. I mean, this is 58 kilowatt hours it was, and now with another 14 that puts me up to 72. So we're heading into about 3 days of rain here and cloudy weather. I know today I'm seeing a max of look at that, a whole 17 watts coming in that one, and 54 watts coming in there. So yeah, she's kind of a bad day. These LV6548, it's kind of a shame you can't get them anymore. They redesigned them, I think, went to the higher voltage. They probably changed some components in them. The 6500X was based upon those, but boy, they were troublesome. Now these here, what happened is, if you look at my other videos, I took the 6500s out and put these in the meantime while I was waiting for them to send me back a pair of inverters. So I put these in and they work flawless. I was pretty impressed. So future additions to this system are going to be, I got another small array, about 7 panels I'm going to add in, and I'm going to actually use the MPPTs on these LV6548s. I haven't been using them because these here were the low voltage version, and they were like 150 volts max or something like that, or 250. They weren't overly high. But this system's been in place now since March of 23, so you know we're looking at oh, it's been over 18 months. It's about 20 months, so you know, 19 months, somewhere in there. Really the only trouble I've had was the 6500 EXs at first, and the other trouble I've had is with these charge controllers burn that connector. And I do have an update on that, and I want to post that in another video. Another thing is I also have this breaker here, and that's where my AC power comes out and back feeds into there and over to my panel. And I'll show them probably my panel here someday. I have a manual transfer switch in there, and I do have both bonding screws in these inverters, and I've never had any trouble. But anyway, hope you enjoy it. Any questions, and put them in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Like I said, come join the Do-It-Yourself Solar Forum. A lot to learn there, a lot of good information, and we share a lot of really neat stuff. So anyway, later.